Had made plans on Saturday night, knew I wouldn't get to watch the Jacks game, so I'm on my phone staying up to date with the score, and I see that they win 84-70. I go into the box score. I'm scrolling, and I see Oscar Cluff put up a 20-20 piece. Whoa. Those are some Mike Dom-esque numbers. Not the same players, very different styles. Oscar more old school, back to the basket, big man type of game. But you don't see that kind of stat line every day at any level of basketball. And his best attribute might be his passing. If you haven't seen Oscar Cluff play, it is worth going to see in person. And let's quickly give some credit to the staff. They lost the Conference Player of the Year last year in Zeke Mayo. They lost the Conference Tournament MVP, another big man in Will Kyle. And this is who they brought in. Impressive. 2 days before, the Jacks defeated North Dakota. They put up 109 points. And in that game, Joe Sayler, White River native, puts up 25 points, a career high. The kid has range. He's got a mid-range game, can get to the basket, has the step back. He has a deep bag. Very skilled young man. But what impressed me most, he had 25 points at the half, okay? He's literally on pace to score 50. Now, you probably don't think he's going to get 50. He might get 40. He didn't take a single shot in the second half. This is a redshirt freshman who is not worried about getting his own. He's a great player, turning into a great player. 25 points in one half is ridiculous. And to think that he didn't even care to take a shot in the second half says a lot about that young man. That impressed me more than anything he did in that game. Very cool to see. I'm telling you, I'm not saying they're going to be the best team I've seen in my 4 years here at South Dakota State, but top to bottom, this is the most talented South Dakota State basketball team that I have personally seen in my 4 years since moving to South Dakota. This past week, former SDSU safety Tucker Large announced he'll be transferring to Washington State. Selfishly, wanted that kid to stay. He is so fun to watch play, but I think he made the right decision. I do believe if that kid reaches his full potential as an athlete, he can play in the NFL. Problem is, I don't think any NFL scouts believe that. Clearly, you can come to South Dakota State and be developed into an NFL caliber player. It happens every single year at this point. But in this unique circumstance, I think Tucker had to leave because he's so undersized. He's already done what he can at this level. For, honestly, 2 years, he's kind of been dominant as a safety. You can't throw on him. He makes plays. He creates turnovers. You see how he is as a punt returner. Reminds me of Tyrann Mathieu, the honey badger at LSU years back. I call Tucker Large the hummingbird. That dude is as quick as can be, can change direction on a dime, is undersized, but like a hummingbird, is vicious, will come up and lay the boom. But he's so undersized that he's got to go prove that he can play against the top level athlete week in and week out and still be that same player. So if he wants to play at the next level, which I know he does, I do think Tucker Large made the right decision. Wish him well. The last thing I wanted to mention today is something that has just flat out confused me. The departures at the running back position in the transfer portal. You know at South Dakota State, the ball will be run. If you're a running back for the Jacks, you are going to get your chance to shine. How much so? So much so that Angel Johnson, Kirby Voorhees, and Maxwell Woods, all three of those guys, we saw what they could do this past year. Talented dudes. And not one of them is the starting running back. Amar Johnson was the starting running back. Oh, let's not forget Chase Mason. We saw what he can do as a runner. Gronowski got his carries. That's 6 guys who we saw what they can do with the ball in their hand in one season. If you become the starting running back at South Dakota State, at this point, you pretty much just know they're going to the NFL. Go back to Zach Zenner, Pierre Strong, Isaiah Davis. Amar Johnson's certainly going to get his chance. I can't believe all 3 of those guys walked away from that. And if you want to say, well, no, things are going to change. They have a new offensive coordinator. The offensive coordinator is Eric Eisnes, who, oh, that's right, he was the guy who was the OC back when Zach Zenner was a running back at South Dakota State who had 3 straight 2,000-yard seasons. So I think they're still going to run the ball just as much, if not more. I just don't get it. I wish all those guys the best of luck. I hope they succeed at Washington State. I'm just keeping it real. I don't understand it. And if Angel Johnson wants to go, well then why wouldn't Kirby Voorhees step in and take the starting role? And then if Kirby also wants to go, why wouldn't Maxwell step in and take the starting role? I just don't get that. And I think you're seeing, when you look at who they're going to bring in, that kid from Wisconsin who was a 4-star recruit who just committed to the Jacks a week ago as a running back probably saw it and said, I have a chance to come in and be the starter at South Dakota State. Sign me up. If I'm Brendan Begeman and Quinn Renfro, man, I'm chomping at the bit. What an opportunity you have in front of yourself. So I wish all those guys well. I do, and I am rooting for them. I'm just saying it confused me why they would walk away from such a golden opportunity to be the starting running back at South Dakota State.